The situation around Nnamdi Kanu has taken a new turn, and many people across the country are reacting already. So as you are listening right now, please like this video and subscribe to the channel because this gist is developing and you will want to stay updated. Nnamdi Kanu, who was recently moved to the Sokoto Correctional Center after his sentencing, has now experienced his first major setback in the legal effort to change his place of detention. His team brought a request asking the court to transfer him from Sokoto back to a location closer to Abuja, mainly so he can have easier access to legal representation and support. But when the case came up, something unexpected happened that changed everything. His younger brother, Prince Emmanuel Kanu, came to court to represent him. Prince Kanu stood up with the intention to move the application on Nnamdi Kanu's behalf, but the judge, Justice James K. Omotosho, stopped the process immediately. The judge explained clearly that only a licensed lawyer can move such an application, no matter how close the family member may be. According to the judge, the rules of the court must be followed fully, especially in a case this sensitive. Because of this, the court refused to hear the motion and adjourned the matter to the 27th of January 2026. As you are listening, please remember to like this video and subscribe so that you will not miss the next update when this matter comes up again. Now, this first setback is raising many questions. Some people are wondering why no lawyer was present to move the application, while others believe this shows how complex the entire case has become. The court did not dismiss the request. It only refused to hear it because the right procedure was not followed. But for many Nigerians who have been following this case closely, this delay feels important. It means more time before anything can change regarding where Kanu is being held. Let us look at why this transfer request even exists. After he was sentenced to life imprisonment, Kanu was moved out of Abuja and placed in Sokoto Correctional Center for security reasons. Authorities believe that keeping him in Abuja might not be safe, especially after the Kuje prison attack in 2022 and other security breaches that happened over the years. So the decision to move him to Sokoto was meant to provide maximum security and reduce risks. However, being far away from Abuja has created challenges. It is harder for lawyers to see him, harder for family members to visit, and even harder for medical checks to happen regularly. Many groups from the southeast who tried to visit him in Sokoto said they could not gain access due to strict clearance rules. So his legal team argues that bringing him closer to Abuja will make the entire appeal process more efficient. To stay updated on developments like this, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. When the motion came before the court, Prince Kanu tried to explain the urgency, but the judge insisted that the law cannot bend simply because the matter is important. Even though he sympathized with the concerns, he stressed that only trained legal professionals can handle such filings. He also advised the family to either hire a lawyer or approach the Legal Aid Council of Nigeria to assist with proper representation. This means the family still has a pathway forward, but they must return correctly before the court can address the real issue. This situation is also raising broader conversations about justice in Nigeria. Many people feel that fair access to justice should include the ability to meet with your lawyer without unnecessary barriers. For a person with such a sensitive and high-profile case, distance and security restrictions can limit meaningful communication. Others argue that because of his influence and the tensions surrounding his case, the government must take extra precautions. This balance between security and fairness is at the center of the current debate. As you continue listening, please like this video and subscribe to support the channel. The latest development also shows how easily technical rules can slow down major legal matters. Sometimes, what appears to be a small procedural step can change the direction of an entire case. For example, simply not having a lawyer present was enough to delay this application for almost 2 months. Supporters of Nnamdi Kanu see this as a way the system indirectly slows down his ability to appeal. But others believe it is simply the court following standard rules that apply to everyone. Another important point is how this delay might affect the mood of his supporters across the southeast and beyond. Each time there is news about his case, whether positive or negative reactions follow quickly. Some people become hopeful, others become frustrated, and some begin to question what direction the entire case is heading. We have seen over the years that any major development around Nnamdi Kanu can influence public sentiment. So this setback, even though procedural, is likely to spark more discussions. Please like this video and subscribe as we break it down for you clearly. Now, looking ahead, the next key date is the 27th of January 2026. On that day, the court will expect proper legal representation to appear and present the request formally. If a lawyer is present and the documents are properly filed, the judge may finally talk about the actual issue, whether or not Kanu should be moved out of Sokoto Correctional Center. That will be the real turning point. Until then, this delay keeps everything on hold. People are also watching closely to see if his legal team will make adjustments before the next hearing. Will they bring a senior lawyer? Will they file a fresh application? Will they ask the court to review conditions of detention in Sokoto? All these are questions that may come up in the weeks ahead. If you want us to keep following these updates for you, please like this video and subscribe. One thing that stands out in this entire matter is the emotional weight it carries. To his supporters, this is not just a legal case, it is a symbol of a long struggle. To others, it is a question of national unity and security. To the court, it is a matter of law and procedure. And to the government, it is a delicate balance between justice and stability. When you put all these factors together, you can see why every small development becomes so important and sometimes complicated. Let me also take a moment to remind everyone listening. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel, because this matter is still unfolding and we will bring every new update to you as soon as it happens. Now, coming back to the gist. Let us talk briefly about what might happen if the court eventually agrees to transfer him. If the judge grants the request, Kanu may be moved to a correctional facility closer to Abuja, one that is considered both secure and accessible. This could make legal consultations smoother and allow his team to push forward with appeals, medical checks, and other requests. It may also reduce the tension some communities feel about his current location. On the other hand, if the court refuses the application, then he will remain in Sokoto under the same strict security conditions. In that case, his lawyers may choose to take the matter to a higher court or explore other legal pathways. So whichever direction this goes, it will shape the next stage of his legal journey. Please like this video and subscribe so you don't miss the follow-up. As we continue watching how this story unfolds, one thing is clear. The journey ahead will still be long and highly discussed. Many Nigerians are hoping the process will be fair and transparent, while also maintaining peace and stability across the country. Cases like this show just how important the justice system is, and how carefully it must handle sensitive matters that affect different regions and emotions. Now, one part of this whole situation that many people are quietly discussing is how this setback reflects the larger pattern of how high-profile legal matters move in Nigeria. If you look closely, you will notice that cases involving national security, strong political emotions, or public tension often move slower than regular cases. This is not always because the court wants delay. Sometimes it is because every step must be double-checked to avoid mistakes that could create bigger problems later. And this is exactly why some people feel the handling of Nnamdi Kanu's matter continues to stretch longer than expected. Another point that is becoming more obvious is the communication challenge between him and his supporters. Normally, in a case where someone is appealing a long sentence, the legal team needs constant access. They need documents, signatures, interviews, planning sessions, and sometimes urgent responses. But in a location like Sokoto, far from the base of his lawyers in Abuja and far from the southeast where most of his support structure is, the process becomes slower. And when the process slows down, frustration grows. Please remember to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss the updates. There are also human rights groups monitoring this case carefully. Some of them believe that every detained person should have easy access to legal representation, regardless of the charges or history. They point to international standards that recommend allowing prisoners to meet their lawyers without unnecessary barriers. These groups may increase their voice as the January hearing gets closer. Their involvement often brings more attention to the case, both locally and internationally. At the same time, we must also acknowledge what the authorities are considering. From the government's perspective, this is not an ordinary detainee. Nnamdi Kanu's name carries weight, and his supporters can mobilize quickly. The government worries that concentrating him in a busy city like Abuja may increase security risks. There is also the fear of protests, prison break attempts, and unexpected incidents. These concerns are part of the reason why the transfer was not handled lightly. So, the court is now stuck in between balancing legal rights and national security. As we move deeper into the gist, please like this video and subscribe for more. Now, let us talk about reactions. After news broke about the setback, many people on social platforms began expressing surprise. Some said the family should have prepared better by bringing a legal professional from the start. Others argued that the court should have been more flexible and allowed the brother to speak since the issue was urgent. However, the judge made it clear, even in difficult cases, procedure must be followed. Without proper procedure, chaos enters the justice system. This moment also highlights how important the 27th of January 2026 will be. That date could determine whether Kanu remains in Sokoto for a long period or whether he gets moved back toward Abuja, where legal access is easier. His supporters will surely be watching closely, and so will the public. And as always, to stay fully updated, please like this video and subscribe. Something else we should pay attention to is how this delay might influence conversations within the Southeast. For years, the issue of Nnamdi Kanu has been tied to strong emotional reactions. Whenever there is a new development, leaders in the region hold meetings, groups release statements, and people begin analyzing what it means for the future. Some believe that if the court eventually agrees to transfer him, tension may reduce slightly because people will feel the process is moving forward. But if the court refuses again, there may be renewed pressure from different groups asking for more transparency and fairness. Another part of this gist that is important is the psychological effect on the man at the center of it all. Being in a high-security environment, far from family, far from familiar faces, and under constant monitoring can weigh heavily on anyone. Legal experts say that for an appeal to be properly prepared, the detainee must be in a stable emotional and mental condition. This is why some believe the transfer request is about more than distance. It's also about ensuring that he is in a location where routine support and communication are easier. Before we go further, please like this video and subscribe to support this detailed coverage. Let's also consider how this situation fits into his long legal history. From the early days of his arrest, to the multiple court appearances, to the controversies around his detention, to the final sentencing, and now this new battle for transfer, each stage has brought new layers of complexity. This case is not static. It keeps evolving. And part of what makes it unique is how closely Nigerians follow each change. The setback in court does not mean the request is over. It only means the request must come back properly. So, the family now has two main options. Find a private lawyer willing to take up the case urgently or approach the Legal Aid Council for support. Both options are possible, but each one takes time. And as time moves, conditions in Sokoto remain the same, strict, controlled, and heavily monitored.